Welcome to the Click and Learn live video for today. It is noon in Arizona, and I'm going to show you one of the really cool tools that a friend of mine created several years ago to help me learn and refresh knowledge about geography. It started out as something simple. He knew I was trying to learn something, and he got into some programming language and made a new type of game for me. And what I'm going to do today is present that game to you. The first game he made was about reviewing countries of South America. So I'm going to bring that up, and I'm going to show you how it works. And let's put me at the bottom because I really want you to see how this system works. So I go right, first of all, he created this. Let me see if I can find it. He created this. Okay, give me a minute. Okay. Now, he created this game where all you do is fill in the blanks. For example, this is South America. There are 14 buttons on the screen because there are 14 countries in South America. They are not all independent, sovereign nations. For example, French Guiana might be owned by France, and the Falkland Islands might be something in the British Commonwealth. I don't know all of that stuff, but I do know that since there is this island down here, just like Sicily and Sardinia in Europe, they're big enough that we should know what they are. So here's what my friend created. He created this. You can put any picture on the screen. It could be a picture of a car engine, and he could put these little buttons on the parts of the car, and you'd have to say, well, this is the alternator. This is the I don't know, catalytic converter. What do I know about cars? I don't know a darn thing about cars. All I know is I believe geography is important, and because of that, I work with geography. My friend, who I've known for 20 years, created this game, and I'm going to show you how it works. You simply put the first letter of whatever country. Like I believe this is Argentina, so I put an A there. I click on a different button, and I put a B for Bolivia. Click here, put a B for Brazil, put a C for Chile. I think this might be Colombia, and I think this might be Venezuelan, and I think this might be France, and I think this might be I don't know, Paraguay. And I don't know what this one is or these, but once you fill in as much information as you know, you click the submit button and it tells you, well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct. 5 out of 14 is the way my friend has set this up. So I got 36%. But the beauty of this is you can keep playing until you got 100%. For example, whoops, I made a mistake here. I'm going to erase that C for Colombia and put a V for Venezuela. And over here, I'm going to erase the V for Venezuela. How do I do this? Erase it and put a C for Colombia. And then I click resubmit. Okay, I got both of those correct, but this is still not France. So the point is you keep going through this. That might be Ecuador. This might be Peru. This might be the Falkland Islands. This might be Uruguay. This might be French Guiana. This might be Suriname. This might be Guyana. And then you click and until you get them all correct. The cool thing is you can replay over and over. I'm going to click the replay button and go through it and see if I can get them all correct without having to get a lot of mistakes. What I did is, okay, here we go. A for Argentina, B for Bolivia, B for Brazil, C for Chile. I learned them alphabetically. Uh, C for Colombia, E for Ecuador, F Falkland Islands, F French Guiana, G for Guyana, S for Suriname, and V as in, whoops, here's Uruguay and Paraguay, and a V for Venezuela. Oh, and here's P for Peru. This is such a cool system. You put in what you know, you click submit, it tells you your score. As a teacher, you could have your students play this type of a game on their computers, and then when they get 100%, they just say, Mrs. Taylor, I want you to show you my screen because I just scored 100%. Okay. Now the cool thing about this is, I'm going to go back to here. The cool thing about this is, my friend could create a picture or a map about anything. He could take a picture of a cow, and he could put those buttons on there to say, where is the I don't know anything about cows. Where does the flank steak come from? Where does the I don't know, pot roast, where does this come from? And you, if you're going to be a veterinarian or whatever, whoever, I guess it's a butcher, they could play that game and they could refresh it. If you're a butchery teacher, you could use a game like that for your students. If you teach shop, where you teach the kids about car engines, you could take a picture of your car engine, not just some random car engine, but the car engine in your school shop. Take that picture, send it to my friend. He could create this type of a thing for you where you show your kids all of the 50 parts about your engine. Help them learn. So I'm going to go back into this thing here, and I'm going to okay, and then I'm going to switch to the next one he created. After he did that, I was so impressed. I said, how about making one for the 50 states? And now that you know how the system works, you know that all I have to do is put in the first letter of each state. Now, on some of his games, he set it up so it has to be uppercase or lowercase, I'm not sure. And in some of his games, he might have set it up so you have to put the postal code. Let's see how he set this one up. I click submit. Okay, so that seems to work. I don't have to put MO for Missouri or ID for Idaho or anything like that. But the cool thing is, you can continue to play this. I'm going to do it in alphabetical order for a minute. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas. I'll switch to C, California, Colorado, Connecticut. D is for Delaware, Florida, Georgia. And I've kind of lost my confidence here. I'm not sure if I got those correct. So I'm going to click the submit button. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting? I got those correct. If I had one wrong, for example, some people get Idaho and Iowa confused. But so we're going to put an I here for Iowa and an I here for Idaho and Indiana. And here's Ohio. And I put an I there for Ohio. Click submit. Well, I guess Ohio does not start with the letter I. It must start with the letter O. Whoops. My fingers. Oh, okay. Submit. Now that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I could go through this. I'm going to tell you the truth. I am such an expert at geography that I could go through all of these and click all of these buttons and get 100% the first time without having to look at a map, without having to Google, say, what is this state that's shaped like the letter V? Because the state that's shaped like the letter V is Vermont. That's shaped like the letter L is Louisiana. Pretty exciting. That is, I might have to have my friend change the format or the font of these letters so that I can really see, is that an L or is that a capital I? And I really have, personally, when you get to be my age, some things really bother you. And what bothers me is driving down the road through Illinois. And as you get to the Illinois, welcome to Illinois sign, it says, welcome to 1, 2, 3 letters that look exactly the same. Because the capital I in some font is the same, looks just the same as the lowercase L's. Okay, I need to get over that. It's tearing me apart. It drives me crazy, but I'm going to finish this. T for Tennessee, T for Texas, W for Washington. Now, there's a way he can get it so that it doesn't remember previous letters. Someone put a W there in the past, so maybe it's cheating because I just clicked on that and it says that's O. Okay. I'll get with him and he'll fix this. He knows so much about how to do this stuff. I do not know anything except geography, of course. And by knowing geography, I can visit with people from all around the world. When I visit someone and I say, where are you from? They say, I'm from Bangladesh. I can say something nice about Bangladesh. True story. I met a guy at Best Buy. I was in there to buy something that was on sale. I couldn't find it, but he had a name tag on. He was behind the counter, and he didn't look like me, and he had an accent that was different. So I said to him, I said, Mr. McCory, where are you from? He said, I'm from the Gambia. And we had a conversation. I told him what I know about Gambia. He was shocked. He said, where are you from? I said, I'm from the United States. He says, no, where are you really from? I said, no, I'm from the United States. He said, no, Americans don't know anything about geography. And that's another one of my pet peeves. Just like fonts that don't tell you if it's a capital I or a lowercase L, just like fonts, I have a phobia. It's not a phobia. It's a pet peeve. It's a pet peeve about people, Americans, who don't know where anything in the world is located. I could take a map of Europe and bring it around, just like Jay Leno used to do. You say, what is this country? Okay, they might get Italy. And they might get, I don't know. Okay, Italy is what they would get. The rest of them, okay, they might get, no, they wouldn't get any others. That is a pet peeve of mine because it is so, okay, let's go on to a different one he created for me. He created one for, this is his most recent creation. And on this one, it does not remind you of what you clicked on. For example, I know that this is Apache. This is Cochise, Coconino. This is Gila with a G, Gila, Graham, Greenlee. Let's see if I get these right so far. Click the submit button. All of the ones I've done so far are correct. Okay. So I've done Apache, Cochise, Coconino, Gila, Graham, Greenlee, L for La Paz, LM, Maricopa, Mojave, LMN, Navajo, OP, Pima, Pinal, S for Santa Cruz, and W for Yuma. Okay. Click submit. And okay, I have forgotten Yavapai, which starts with a Y. Click submit. Oh, and Yuma does not start with a W, it starts with a U. Okay, click submit. Okay. This is where you need teachers. This is where you need teachers to help you not only, for example, how do you pronounce that word up there just above Connecticut? How do you pronounce Connecticut? How do you even spell Connecticut? Teachers can help you learn to pronounce and spell things, but since I don't know how to spell Connecticut, I just put a C on the map. Let's try random letters. You can try random letters for Yuma until you come up with 100%. Okay, that is pretty cool. And one of the other, I'll tell you the most recent one he created. The biggest one he created was the map of fill in the blank for, let me find it, Texas has, hold on. One of the things about live streaming that I have learned is if I need to cough, I simply, how do I do this? Stop the camera and the microphone. Okay. And pretend you didn't see that. Now I'm going back to Texas, and there are 254 counties of Texas. There are more counties of Texas than there are countries of the world. If I can learn the names and locations of the 254 counties with the click and learn system, if I can do it, all of you students, parents, teachers who are less than, 78 years old can do this. And when you can take this map as a teacher, let's say you're a teacher, you take this map and you tell the students, I want you to show me all the counties in Texas that start with the letter A. The letter A. I'm going to pretend I'm a student. I'll put an A. Anderson, Andrews, Angeline, Aransas, Archer, Armstrong, Atascosa. We'll click it. There we go. And Austin. Now then I click submit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoops, what did I do? 7. Angelina Ranges, Atascosa, Austin. Okay, here's another problem. Sometimes your keyboard might double click. Okay, that's what happened there. I put an A, but I double clicked and so had an AA in there. You couldn't see it, but that's what the problem was on that. So then the teacher says to you, let's do all of the counties that start with the letter O. Okay, let's see what we can do. Ochiltree. Oldham. Orange. Orange is the county that's purple. See what I did? Okay, let's do all the counties that start with the letter P, as in Pecos. I better do this right now. Pecos, Polk, Potter. Let's do Palo Pinto, Panola, Parker, Parmer. I've done Pecos, Polk, Presidio, and Potter. Click submit, and I got as many as I can see. I've got them correct. What other letter do we want to do? Let's do V. I'm doing the easy ones. When the teacher says let's do all the counties that start with the letter C, I would have to, first of all, I'd have to click the replay button. I'll show you that in a minute, because there are 28 counties that start with the letter C. Well, what letter was I going to do next? V. V. Valverde, Van Zant, Victoria. Click submit. Let's see if we got them right. Pretty darn exciting. E. E is easy. Eastland, Ector, Edwards, El Paso, Ellis, Erath. Have I done F yet? Which one does F start with? The hardest part sometimes is getting started. Okay, I know what it is. I just got back on track. It's Falls, Fannin, Fayette, Fisher, Fayette, Fayette. I think there's Fisher, Floyd, Ford, there are more than that. Let's see, submit, see if I got those right. I think I got those right. Franklin, Freestone, Frio. Click submit it again, see if I got those right. Whoops, that's not Freestone. Franklin, see if this is Freestone. Very good. And that's Franklin. So, okay, let's do a real challenge. I'm going to click replay. And I'm going to do the counties that start with the letter B, as in, I don't know, B as in Bob. Here we go. I click, type the letter B, Bailey, Bandera, Bastrop, Baylor, B, Bell, Behar, Blanco, Borden, Basque, Bowie, Brazoria, Brazos, Brewster, Briscoe, Brooks, Brown, Brooks, Burleson, Burnett. Now, I think there are 19 counties that start with letter B. Let's see how many I get correct. Okay, I've got 18 correct. So that means that there are either 18 counties that start with letter B, or I missed one. Whoops, here's one that's wrong. That's not Burnett. This is Burnett. This is Burnett. Okay. Submit. Okay. Seriously, I did not do that on purpose, but I just rescued myself because I click and learn. I go through it alphabetically. Let's do G. G as in George. Gaines, Galveston, Garza, Gillespie, Glasscock, Goliad, Gonzalez, Gray, Grayson, Greg, Grimes, Guadalupe. Are there others? I don't know. But because I don't know, I created another game to help me learn how many counties of Texas start with different names. So I'm going to go back to StreamYard. I'm going to come up and talk for a minute, because in the background, while I'm talking about that, I am going to, without anybody knowing, I'm going to stop that screen, and I'm going to bring up another screen while I'm trying to talk and act like I know what I'm doing. And that's going to be this screen. Okay. This is pretty cool. So now, well, I'm not there yet. Now I have to bring that up to the stage. And I'm going to get into this and show you how about a new game that I made that helps me learn how many counties start with a letter, how many Texas counties start with a letter. What letter was I working about? I think I was working on the letter B. So I get into, my mouse just quit working. I tell you what, see if this works. Okay. I get into clickandlearnsoftware.com. I go to clickandlearnsoftware.com. I click the play now button. And let's see where this game is. Let's see if I have it in this section. How many counties start with different letters? Okay, here we go. This is the game I just created for this. Click there, click single player in review mode, and now I click go. This game, excuse me, hold on. You know what's happening? Okay, so in this game, it asks how many counties in Texas start with the letter A, and that is, it's an easy one, 8. If I get it correct, I get a green light. Now it asks for how many counties start with the letter B, and that is 19. 28 counties start with the letter C. D, how many counties start with the letter D? I don't remember. I can use the show me button, and it's 11. E, 6 counties start with the letter E. I think it's F is 10, G is 12, FGH. 23 counties start with the letter H. Let's go back to that game I showed you, because I want to see if I can actually show you that I know all 23 counties of Texas that start with the letter H. So I'm going to go to, first of all, take that off the stage. That's pretty exciting. And then I stop sharing. No, what am I doing? Okay. And then I go back to that game that I had up there about Texas. And I put that up here where you can all see it. I go back into that, and I'm going to replay. I click the replay button. That starts the whole thing over. And now we're working on all the counties that start with letter. What letter was I even talking about? H. Okay. H. Hale, Hall, Hamilton, Hanford, Hardiman, Hardin, Harris, Harrison, Hartley, Haskell, Hayes. Remember, I'm trying to get up to 23. Okay, whoops. I tapped the letter again. Okay, that's Hayes. Okay, H. Now that's HA. HE is the only prerequisite for using Click and Learn is that you must be able to recite the alphabet in 5 seconds or less. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And because I can do that, and I know alphabetically that after H, A comes H, E. That brings me up to Hemphill and Henderson. H, I, Hidalgo and Hill. H, A, E, I, O. Hockley, Hood, Hopkins, Howard, Aeiou. U is Hudspeth, Hood, and Hutchison. Now, let's see if I missed any. I click submit, said 21. So there are 2 that I missed. First of all, I got this one wrong. That is not where Hopkins is. Let's see if this is Hopkins. Click again. Okay, that's Hopkins. Did I miss any others? I'm looking for the H's. And H with H that's red. Okay. Which one did I get wrong? Okay. Let's go through this again. Hale, Hall, Hamilton, Hansford, Hardiman, Hardin, Harrison, Parkey, Haskell, Hayes, H. Okay. I only got 22 of those 23, so I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to have to go back and click and learn and find out which counties I have missed. Okay, but that's the real thing I wanted to show you in this system is that my friend created this game. I can replay, I can exit. It is such a powerful type of a game to help review and refresh your knowledge about pretty much anything you can take a picture of. I'm going to go back to StreamYard, and I'm going to just kind of do a summary here. We've been doing this for like 30 minutes, and I'm sure most of you are thinking, you got lunch to make, I don't know what people do. I don't do any of those things. I just sit here outside of this coffee shop and pretend I'm doing something. But I'm not pretending when I tell you that I believe geography knowledge is really important. Here's another thing. It's really cool. This is really cool. I just learned, a friend and I just learned the names and locations of the 29 counties of Utah. And I can recite those all in 29 seconds because it took 24 minutes to learn those 29 counties, names and locations. Let's get into that. I'm going to take you right to the game I created to help people learn the names and locations of the 29 counties of Utah. And I'm going to bring that up in a second. And I'm going to go into, excuse me, seriously, I'm not good at this. I'm new at this. I'm old at a lot of things, but I'm new at this. Okay. So I go right into clickandlearnsoftware.com, and I will bring it up to the home screen. I'll get into Play Now, and let's see if I can do this. I know where it's at. Free games of the day. There we go. Okay. You didn't see all that because I was trying to figure out how to set this up. But now that I know a little bit about what I'm doing, I can bring you right to that. I'm going to bring that to the stage, and I'm going to show you a little bit about Utah. And I'm going to tell you something really cool that happened this morning. I go to clickandlearnsoftware.com. I click the Play Now button. I'm not even signed in. We've got a lot of free games. I'm going to click on new games this week. There's a game I just created a few days ago. I click, let's click review. I want to show you how I can do this. It asks for, that's, what did I do? That's Arizona. Where did Utah go? Okay. Okay. You see what I mean? Okay. I tell you what. Okay. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop sharing because I'm going to log in with my secret administrative password. And then I'm going to show you how, what I'm talking about Utah. And I am logged in. Back to StreamYard. I'm going to bring that up and show you what we could do. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go to, first I'm going to bring you back in. I'm going to bring all of you back in. And I'm going to show you that what I normally do is I go right to the beginning, click and learn software.com. I click play now. I'm already signed in. I'm going to go to my favorites. My favorites that I set up shows that one of the games I just created was for counties of Utah. I click that. I switch to review mode. I click single player and I click go. It asks for Beaver, Box Elder, B, Cash, Carbon, Daggett, Davis, Duquesne, Emory, EFG, Garfield, Grand, GHI, Iron J, Schwab, K, Kane, LM, Millard, Morgan, Element OP, Paiute, QR, Rich, Salt Lake, San Juan, San Pete, Sevier, Summit, Tool, Uinta, Utah, Wasatch, Washington, Wayne, and Weber. But the cool thing is, this has really happened to me this morning. I was kind of scrolling around and reading stuff online, and I saw an article by Bill Gates, and he talked about going to different places around the world where people are creating solutions to create energy cheaper, freer, unlimited, things like that. And he mentioned that he found this place in Utah. And it says, here's what he said. He said, I've been investing in the next generation energy technologies for nearly 2 decades. So I have visited a lot of power plants over the years, but the one I visited this week in Beaver County, Utah, has one key factor that it sets apart from others. Its power source is 8,500 feet below the ground. And I stumbled at that. I said, wait a minute, I know where Beaver County is located. And when you know where things are located in the world and you hear news about your state or your country or different countries of the world, you absorb the news better. This is what I try to tell social studies teachers. This is what I try to tell geography teachers. If your students knew where things are located, they're going to absorb the news better. And when they hear something happening in Iran, Iraq, Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, Belarus, Poland, all that stuff, they start to understand why the people in Poland are somewhat concerned about what's happened in Ukraine. And, you know, I could go on and on. I just wanted to show you, the intent of this was to show you that really cool system that, oh my gosh, I'm live streaming and someone just gave me a comment and it says, looks slick. This is the other thing about, okay, this is the other cool thing about the internet and the power you have. All of you have this power. I'm only sitting out here on this coffee shop porch. I'm taking their Wi-Fi that they have, thankfully, because I've spent, $4 for an iced tea. Seriously. Maybe more. I don't pay attention to that anymore. This is my cover charge. I pay for the living. But the cool thing is, I'm out here doing this, and I'm live streaming, and so I can. How do I do this? I can turn off that comment, and I can show another comment. There are more counties in Texas than there are countries in the world, and you can interact with people all over the world when you teach them something. When you teach them about, parts of a cow, parts of a sailboat, parts of the engine in your shop, or in my opinion, you teach them how to bring world peace by being knowledgeable about the world. Okay, and I can take that comment back off, and if other people were watching on YouTube, they could comment. Okay, that guy quit. I think he's gone because it says up here at the top, nobody cares, nobody's watching. But if someone was watching, it's incredible. This is probably one of those videos that I will, let's say, delete and start over. But for now, I'm learning, and if I can do it, you can do it. You can do all this stuff. I have so much to tell you about geography, but for now, I'm going to end the stream. And okay, where are my notes? Okay, look at the camera and smile. So, okay. No, okay, I'm serious. Talk to you guys later.